The Demarcus Cousins injury is going to have a huge impact on the NBA and the future of the NBA in more ways than one. In essence, the Demarcus Cousins injury will reshape the course of NBA history. The first thing that really comes to mind with the Demarcus Cousins injury that a lot of people aren't really talking about is the plight of the African American head coach. In the NBA, there are only about 4 black head coaches: Tyronn Lue, Doc Rivers, Alvin Gentry, and Nate McMillan. Boogie Cousins going down essentially puts a whole lot of stress on Alvin Gentry to have the other guys come through and be high octane producers and keep the Pelicans in the playoff hunt and make sure that he keeps his job. You got to understand, Alvin Gentry got the job after winning the championship with the Golden State Warriors. His tenure with the Warriors and all the things he was able to implement as an assistant head coach landed him the job in New Orleans. Now the fact that Boogie Cousins goes down, if they have a bad record at the end of the season or fail to make the playoffs, Alvin Gentry will be on the chopping block. What does that mean for the future of head coaches and black head coaches in the NBA? Well, guess what? There will only be about 3 of them left. In a sport where it's over 70% African American or black or minority, you have head coaching situation in the NBA where it's 90% white. So in that regard, it hurts the NBA because there's not a lot of cultural diversity in the coaching department. And that's not fair because I know there are a lot of black head coaches that could really do their thing, but they're not being given a fair shot. And DeMarcus' injury hurts Alvin Gentry's chances of keeping his job, which is not good. DeMarcus' injury stresses the Achilles injury. Now, we've seen major stars go down with Achilles injuries before. You have Kobe Bryant, Elgin Baylor, Patrick Ewing, Dominique Wilkins. You add DeMarcus Cousins to the list, and it's just like, what's going on here with these Achilles injuries? Are we studying it properly? Are we diagnosing things properly? Are we looking at players and we're behind on catching the warning signs of an Achilles injury? According to reports, it was said that the Achilles injury was due to stress and overuse. So, are the coaches practicing the players too much? Is the pace too high octane? These are the things that the NBA has to watch for. Because if you have your stars like DeMarcus Cousins getting Achilles injuries, what if LeBron goes down with an Achilles injury? Or Kevin Durant goes down with an Achilles injury? We all know that once you get that kind of injury, they're never quite the same. If you looked at Kobe Bryant when he came back from his Achilles injury, he didn't play the same. And a lot of people always stress like, hey, Kobe's numbers down the stretch of his career weren't that impressive. You got to remember, he was coming off an Achilles injury. That right there lets you know how players play because they essentially decline, and it's very difficult to bounce back from that. So that forces the NBA to really research the Achilles injuries and say, hey, are we diagnosing these things properly? A lot of guys, when guys sprain ankles, is it affecting the Achilles? Are we making the players practice too much? Are they traveling too much? Do we have to amend training schedules or training regimens? Do coaches need to change some of the routines that they're implementing? Or do we need to have like a mandate? You can't have a certain amount of practices and stuff like that. Because if the more the injury plagues the NBA, especially the big stars, it's going to hurt the product. And you don't want that. You got to feel bad for Anthony Davis in this position. He finally got to play with Boogie, and he goes down. Now, this affects Anthony Davis's future because he has a player option in 2020, 2021, where he has to decide whether he stays in NO or, he books it. If DeMarcus Cousins comes back and he's not 100%, he's going to book it. And there goes New Orleans Pelicans' future as a franchise. It hurts Anthony Davis' commitment because if he sees that DeMarcus Cousins isn't playing at a high level, he has other prospects like the Boston Celtics. But he could easily say, you know what, this isn't for me. We had some chemistry going, but guess what? I'm out. I'm out of here. It's a wrap. And that really hurts Anthony Davis' future in New Orleans. And New Orleans is, from what I know or what I heard, is a great city. And they're a great sports town. They come out and support. So you wouldn't want to lose a star because he feels like he doesn't have enough help. And that's really going to hurt Anthony Davis's decision if Boogie Cousins comes back and he's not 100%. And, he doesn't play the same. And we know he's not going to play the same And that's what really hurts. That's what really kills everything right there. He's not gonna play the same. Demarcus Cousins represent a big man we've never seen before. A lot of people look at him as the best big man in the NBA. He's one of the first guys that could shoot the three, handle the basketball, post you up, drop step, over shoulder, hook shot, dribble off the break. He's like a unicorn. You know, people say Kristaps Porzingis is a unicorn. Demarcus Cousins is a unicorn. He had was a triple-double, 44 points, like 24 rebounds, 11 assists. Like, some of these things you can't make up, and he's one of the few people that could do that. There aren't that many big men with the size of like a Patrick Ewing that could shoot the three, that could dunk the ball on your head, give you double-digit rebounds, and post you up and hurt you in all kind of facets of the game. Demarcus Cousins represents that. Him going down with his injury basically hurts a lot of future boogies. There's a future boogie out there saying, you know what, not only can I post up, I could also shoot the three. I could also shoot the mid-range. I could also dribble the basketball. I could also, drop step and get into the lane and dunk it. I could also defend at a high level. But with this injury, it's given a notion that you cannot have a big man that's a bully ball big man and a finesse player at the same time. And that hurts the league because if you think about it, besides Karl-Anthony Towns, Kristaps Porzingis, Anthony Davis, and Boogie Cousins, there's not that many big men that could give you kind of all three of them. And Boogie Cousins was a more physically gifted player than all the other three. He's way more physically gifted. I mean, he's just like a beast. So, he gets hurt, and that hurts his archetype. We all see kind of archetypes in the NBA. There's a lot of point guards in the NBA. At one point, there were a lot of shooting guards in the NBA. At one point, the small forward were a huge thing in the NBA. You got to look at it. T-Mac, Kobe era, Iverson, those are the shooting guards. Center era, Shaq, Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan. We're like thriving in the point guard era where you have CP3, Steph Curry, Tony Parker, he's at the tail end of his career, Damian Lillard, so many great point guards every single night that you have to go up against. Boogie Cousins was basically ushering, trying to bring back that big man era where you have big men that can actually do multiple things that are very versatile. Him being injured hurts that position, and players aren't really going to be like, okay, well, Boogie Cousins is there, I see Boogie, and I feel like I could be like him. They're not going to try to model their game after him anymore because his game is going to change. And they're going to be like, well, he got injured and stuff like that. I'll be doing too much. I'm trying to shoot threes and rebound and post up. I'm just doing too much. They're not going to try to aspire to be that. And that really hurts the future of the big man right there. Last but not least, one of the factors that really hurts the future of the NBA, and this injury shapes the future of the NBA in this regard. LeBron James, his future in Cleveland really rested upon the decision of the Cavs to try to trade for Demarcus Cousins. LeBron James and his camp, always wanted to push to get Boogie in Cleveland. Of course, every team wants that number one pick. I think that the New Orleans Pelicans would have let go of Demarcus Cousins if they could get Kevin Love, a shooter in J.R. Smith, and another piece like a Shumpert, and the draft pick for Demarcus Cousins and another role player. I think they would have let that go, and you would have had the pairing of LeBron James and Demarcus Cousins. The Demarcus Cousins Achilles injury hurt us by not letting us have the possibility of seeing that tandem together. Can you imagine that? LeBron and Boogie? Ridiculous. That would have been a ridiculous pairing. Moreover, that hurts the pairing of LeBron James and Anthony Davis because there's no way now, knowing what they know about Demarcus Cousins' injury, that the Pelicans are going to trade Anthony Davis. They're not explore that trade none whatsoever due to the fact that they don't have Boogie Cousins to rely on now. He's a question mark. Before, they have two of those guys, they're both kind of assets or whatever the case is. They can make a trade for either or, especially if they feel like one's not going to commit later down the line. Now, one of them is out, and the other one is like pure gold. He's untouchable. He's an untouchable guy. They're not going to make any trades for that person. Please take that out of your head. It's a wrap. It's a Rizzy. So now the pairing of LeBron and AD, that goes down the drain as well because it doesn't matter if you give us a draft pick or whatever the case is. If Boogie comes back from the injury, he's not 100%, we would have got rid of our, first or second best player. And we're not doing that. So that hurts LeBron's, that pairing of LeBron and AD or LeBron and Boogie. And moreover, it hurts the possibility of LeBron staying in Cleveland due to the fact that, hey, we couldn't get Bledsoe, we couldn't get George, we couldn't get Boogie, couldn't get Anthony Davis. I don't want to go to the finals and get swept again. So he might quit in the Eastern Conference Finals like he did against Boston all those years back. You know what I'm saying? So that might break his spirit and his future thoughts about staying in an organization in Cleveland. So Demarcus Cousins' injury has many ripple effects that a lot of people just don't understand. It deals with the whole black head coaches in the NBA. Number two, you have a factor about Anthony Davis's future. Number three, there's issues with the Achilles injuries and how it's affecting the players. Is the NBA handling the Achilles injury the proper way? Number four, archetype of the big man being Demarcus Cousins. Are players going to want to model their game after Demarcus Cousins even after he's been injured? Is that something that they want to do? And number five, the future of LeBron James. Will he stay in Cleveland now knowing that he can't get either Boogie or Anthony Davis? And my answer to that is no. So this injury has many ripple effects, and it's really going to alter the course of NBA history because a lot of teams wanted DeMarcus Cousins, and now this injury puts a question mark on how good and effective he could be. Do me a favor, like this video, comment, Hoops Junction, where Hoops meets Hoopla. Peace.